guys and girls? Chokester here, bringing another episode of Direwolf20 Pack, presented by FTB. That's fun to say. Alright guys, we have changed a little bit of things around. A little bit. We have now less canola, since that's always full, and we have thrown in just a couple of ender lilies. Just a couple, and let me show you what that has done. In a few days, yes, hope everybody had a good Christmas. I have taken a couple of days off, and I apologize for the lack of videos, but alas, I am not big enough to have auto-scheduled videos published on YouTube. So I have to do things manually, and therefore I was not around to do that. I was visiting family, so apologize for that. Anyway, those ender pearls, just the 4 of them, I now have 22 stacks of ender pearls. Yeah, that's going along swimmingly. I don't need much more than that. So we've got a couple of things else that have changed. You see I was working on these advanced item filters because I had to go in here and put in an advanced item filter in here, not only to get the things like tin and copper or dictionaried, you know, to handle all the variants of that, but also to add more. I was out of space for all of the items that I needed to process, because from that quarry there was a lot of things coming in, and you'll see I put in an ender chest here. So ender chest is pretty simple to make, and so I made an ender chest and I dumped it all from the quarry over there, and it has come in and processed, and you now see I have a ton of iron. I have 8 stacks of blocks, or also known as 4,800 iron. So that's a lot, right? It's by no means you know, a record for myself, but at least it's quite a bit. What I would really like, though, is more of this yellowite, and unfortunately I only have 500, but I do have some clever things I can do with this uranium ore. So I have 2 stacks of uranium ore, or 142 of that. So we can do some things with that and help augment the amount of yellowite, because they are somewhat ore dictionaried, or we can make them work together. But today, no, we want to do something else. We want to, well, as you see I'm looking up dimensional shards, because I mentioned last episode that we can't get any dimensional shards when the config setting is set that you have RFTools Dimension in here. It's not generated in the end. It's not generated in the nether. It's not generated in the overworld. It is only generated in another dimension. So we want to go there and do something about that. We're going to need several things, mainly these machines over here. So let's get to work building these guys. I know I'm going to need a few of these guys, so let's do like 4 of those. All right, and let's grab, oh, I have plenty of those. Where are they? Right there. 4. I don't think I'll need more than 2, but just in case. All right, so let's grab one of those. So that's the inscriber. We're going to use the builder, which we have everything for that. And then I don't think I'm going to need the editor right now, but I will indeed need one of these empty dimension tabs. And that's because that's what gets created. That's what actually creates our dimensions. Now, that's all well and good, and this will create our extra dimension, but we have no way to actually get there and get back. For that, we're going to need to use some other things from RFTools. And so oftentimes, or in my other series, I have created these matter transmitter and receiver, and of course the dialing device, and gone to the end, grabbed some ender pearls, and ran back without killing the dragon. And I did that in my Infinite Choices series, which is temporarily on hold because I'm waiting for the mod pack to update and fix some of the crucial bugs in there. But we're going to need a transmitter. And so let's grab one of these. We're going to need a receiver. Let's grab one of those, the inverse of the recipe. We're going to need a dialing device. And let's see, we need yet another one of those. And so let's grab this dialing device. And we're going to need a way to get home without having a dialing device on the other side. So we're going to use this charged porter, which is pretty cool. Now, the other thing we can do is once we get into this more, we can create a charged porter, and it's not too bad. It's just heavy use of redstone and a few diamonds. We could do that right now. I don't need it quite yet. I want to show you the basic one first. And so we're also going to need some power. Now I've already picked up my quarry. And so we could generate them, like with the generator here or the furnace generator here. But I think I want to leverage some more RF tools. I want to leverage the power cells, right? We've already set that infrastructure up. So yet another one of these. I should just create like a stack of them, right? The other thing is that this advanced power cell requires these dimensional shards. I want that. I want the next generation or the next level of these power cells. So that's begetting our work to actually get to another dimension and see if we can get those dimensional shards, because they are limiting us right now. We want to be able to upgrade our wither killer. We want to be able to upgrade our power cells. There's so many things that I want these dimensional shards, and there's no recipe to make them, and we pretty much have to do this, I think. All right, we're also going to need another card. So for every power cell, you're going to need another card. And if you recall, we have this here. We can just link it to here. Now it's linked to ID 1. So cool. That will allow us to put this in here. And boom. And we'll go ahead and preset this to output. All right. The way this is going to work is maybe I'll put it, I don't know, over here. This is kind of my my portal area. Yeah, let's do something like this. So what I like to do is I like to do the dialing device right in the middle. All right, and then, in fact, I think I can get this to face up. One of the few blocks I can get to face up. And these, of course, will automatically. So the transmitter I put on doesn't really matter. Left or right, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, so now the only other thing is we'll have to go down here and we'll have to do some power. And so looks like we have, look at that. That's my base down here. Cool. All right, we need a power cell. Yes, good. How about if we put the power cell right there, and then all we're going to need is just some power conduits, and we'll go ahead and do these guys here. Put one there, put one there. There we go. And we are now, should be charging up. Excellent. So we're going to say choke base. Good, and we'll make it public. It doesn't really matter. Go over here, and we'll say same thing, choke base. All right, excellent. So now I could say dial choke to choke base, and we say dial. Excellent. And let me put these back. All right, and I would end up right here, one to the other. Now, what we're going to need to do is we are going to dimension inscriber and the editor, or the builder, I'm sorry. So what we'll also do is we will pull off power from here, maybe run it around over here. How do we want to do that? Let's do, yeah, I think I want to go like right here, and then we'll just run it right up here. And that'll work pretty well. And we'll have these two machines right in the wall. And so, let's see if I can get them to, nope, they're going to face down. That's what I figured. Okay, let me do the wiring down here. All right, we'll bring this over, and yeah, let's go up. Right like that. All right. And then I will be able to, I'm going to do the inscriber here, and then I'm going to do the builder here. And that should be getting power. Only one of them. Okay, so that one doesn't need power. No problem. No problem. We could actually save a conduit by moving it, switching the two around, but I like them that way. I do like them that way. There. Now this guy is where we go into here, and this is where we could create new kinds, but I'm just going to create this standard one right here. All right, so this is our regular dimension, right? So it says it's maintenance cost of 11 RF per tick. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. It's already filling up, so we put this in here, and so now it will start powering that, which is great. Now we're going to need to put we're going to charge up this portal, I guess I should say. Let's charge that guy up. I'll dump off these things, and we're gonna make a trip into our new dimension. Okay, now the only other thing we have to do is we have to actually bind this to a see it says no target set, sneak right click. So we shift right click on that, and now it's set to this receiver. And so we now have the ability to go to this ID2, which we didn't name. We could take this out, I think, maybe, and rename it. Let's see. Can I name it? First world. Yes, maybe. And let's hit enter there. Just see. Let's just see. I don't think it will. I think I missed my window. So let's go into here. Yeah, doesn't look like it. So I can say dial this and dial this. All right. So it did say RFTools Dimension ID 2, which is perfect. So now let's just make sure this works. If I right click on here, should bring me home here. Perfect. Okay. And let's just make sure. At some point we're going to get some wireless. It only used a tiny bit of energy, but I want to make sure I have it all. Okay. Let me dump off these guys here, and let's make a trip over to this dimension. So here we go. All right. Oh, flat world. Okay, very flat world. Sun's just coming up. Perfect. Looks like there's some snow here. All right. Bunch of animals. Oh, let's see what's down here. Let's see what kind of material. Oh, this one's covered, but we'll go over here. This looks like we're in the extreme hills biome, and here we are in still extreme hills. Oh, birch forest. There we go. Okay, so not too shabby. Let me take a poke around. So, I mean, in case you haven't seen this, I'll show you this real quick. These are the structures that are built. Turn on the light here, and they have dimension dimlets in here. Sorry. So here's a feature dimlet, volcanoes. There's a mob dimlet, gas. In case I want to populate my world with gas, or if I want to have a normal night sky. I'm saying, you know, I can create my own dimensions. And then there's some more in here. There's a parcel along with these individual components. So this is, what you do is you run around and gather up all these different buildings. Oh, there's another building over there. And yeah, so that's about it. And so what I want to do is I want to do a quarry here. And so let's make sure we mark this home so that we know, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because we have a way to get home with the charge porter here. So let me set up the quarry. I'll be right back. Okay, so dimensional shards spawn at Y level 40 and below. So I started digging down and I ran into water. I thought, oh, this is odd. And I realized, oh, look, let me turn off chunk borders. There's this whole underground world with, you know, water and stuff, but which is fine, not a problem. And there's guardians and so on. But look what we have. Look what we have. Yeah, we've got dimensional shards right here. So let's go ahead and grab that. I know, you guys are all upset. Let's go ahead and grab this. Cool. Oh, there's another one there. Let's vein mine that. Make sure we get them all. Okay. So how many did we get? We got 26. That'll get us started for right now. Guys, you could leave me alone. But that's what we're going to do. So let me go finish mapping this, and I'll get back up here and get some breath since we're running out of breath, and I'll be right back. All right, I just came home to sleep because it was getting dark. I have mapped this from Y level 40 on down. Let me head back over there. There it is. All right, let's zip over here real quick. All the mobs are dying. I just got to worry about creepers. I don't want them to blow up any of this stuff. So, all right, so I have turned it on. I'm getting all kinds of good stuff, but let me show you real quick what I have done. I have mapped this from dimension 129, 112, but Y level 40 down 102, I guess. Offset, sure. Anyway, it turns out to be 577,000 blocks, and so that's all good. Oh, let's right click on that. We'll put that in there. We'll let that run, and so it's getting all kinds of the normal stuff, except for notice it's getting prismarine. And it's also getting this magical wood planks, which I thought was pretty cool. We're getting all this other standard stuff. I have already installed the advanced item filters ×2 in here, so we're all ready to start, picking and choosing what we want to save. Now, frankly, I don't need any more lead. I don't need any more tin or silver. We'll probably keep the resonating ore. Iron, man, I got a ton, but it just pains me to void iron. Clay definitely will void. This chisel dirt, which is kind of cool, right? Happy souls. Chisel marble, chisel prismarine, chisel limestone, chisel cobble. That's pretty fun. So yeah, I mean, it's just weird stuff, right? that's what you get. Hey, look, we're getting some dimensional shards. Now, this is where I can stop it and use our, remember our quarrying card with fortune? Now we finally have, so clearing card with fortune, now we finally have dimensional shards, and I can create that, and that's what I would love to do. I'd love to take this guy out. It auto stops, and we'll take it back, and there's my porter. Whew, good thing I remembered. I had to have to charge it up every time, because see how much power it uses? It uses quite a bit. There we go. So let's upgrade this into a, or at least see if we can, where our fortune, there it is. All right, so we need a shape card fortune, so which uses hopefully a shape card, and I need a gas tier. Where did I put my gas tiers? I think they're in here. Yes, yes sir and ma'am. Clearing silk, clearing fortune, sure, and I think I just need that, right? I'm confused here. What am I missing? Am I in the right? Yes. I don't know if I can use this shape card clearing quarry. So let's see here. Okay, we should have everything to make our fortune quarry, and then of course we're going to turn that into a clearing quarry. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, so let me get my charge porter. I'm going to stand here just so I don't forget. Now I have, this is our old one, so we're going to mark down these numbers here, and then put them in the other one in our fortune quarry. And so we're going to have 129, and this one was 40, and remember the last one? I do, 112. And let's see, right click there actually clears it. Oh, this is a negative 62. Negative 102. And 58. Okay, we're going to void everything we possibly can with the OR dictionary. Make sure it's solid box. Let's go put that over there. We should be able to insert that on off. And now we should be getting a whole lot more in everything, clay and other things like diamonds and redstone, draconium dust, lapis lazuli. That all should get fortune, which is great. So let's go ahead and turn on the floodgates here, and that'll get the obvious stuff like the, oh, and I need to put in the here item conduit speed upgrade, so that should start pulling all kinds of stuff out. And of course the coal is going into our resonator, right? And it's, yep, that's full. This guy is generating and building up its backlog. This one is full, which is good, and dumping all of its 840 RF per tick into this guy. We're cranking along. So yeah, we're set. We're set. We're just trying to get dimensional shards, and I'll clean this up as we go. As we go. All right, looking good. Looking good. So yeah, we'll take like the dirt. Prismarine might be fun to keep. I'll go ahead and keep that. I don't really need this. I really don't need this. It's pretty cool that we're getting it though, but sapphire, yeah, sadly I don't need that. And everything else. So the other thing that I'm going to do then is once I get this optimized, I'm going to take my ender chest and maybe I'll put it on the top, right? And so I wanted to have the buffer before I start dumping everything into my ender chest. And then what I'll do is I'll run a conduit up here, and I'll let everything else that comes into here, once I get this itemized, I'll just send it back to my base, and that'll get auto-sorted from the ender chest on the other side. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So that's how we get dimensional shards, and we'll come back next episode and start souping up our things with the dimensional shards, because that's what's needed. So guys, I hope you learned some things. I know I didn't go into full in-depth about either the dimensional builder. It's pretty straightforward if you just want to build a generic world and roll the dice, and that's what I did, and it's not a bad world, right? It's a standard day-night cycle. It's pretty flat. There's dimensional shards. That's what I really care about. If we have other specific needs in the future, that'll be great. It does increase the power output though every time you change one of the defaults. It increases the power, and we're not quite generating a ton of power yet. So I mean, we're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds to millions of RF per tick, if depending on what it is. So yeah, that's something that we might have to work towards. So all right guys, well, I'm going to bid you adieu, And I'm glad you tuned in to see this next episode after the Christmas break. And I'll catch you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.